Hello, I'm Dr. Elena Eustach, and welcome to my podcast, How to Be Feminine. I'm here today with Bigneechi.
What's up, y'all? Bigneechi here. I'm gonna ask her a couple questions, possibly help y'all out. This is gonna be mainly about women and men dating. So y'all stay tuned. We got a lot to go over. So what's the definition of a masculine female? What makes a girl masculine? Is it like her physical stature? Is it like her mental? Is it her personality? And how do they typically treat men?
So there's 6 masculine women out there and there's 1 feminine. One of them is the masculine woman, which is a typical business woman, but unfortunately when she comes home, she doesn't know how to stop her masculinity. So she wants to be controlling, she wants to be in charge, she wants to be protective and cherishing, she's overgiving, and she can be disrespectful to her man and wants to tell him what to do and make all the decisions. So it actually castrates a masculine man into feeling disrespected and him wanting to run away, or him becoming feminine even though he doesn't want to because she's masculine, because 2 masculine energy clash. They compete too much together. So in a relationship, you need polarity. You need somebody to be masculine and somebody to be feminine in order for the spark to exist and have that chemistry and relationship.
So what you're saying, it's like even if there's like 2 lesbians, one of them has to be like the dyke and one of them has to be like the feminine?
Yes, if they want to have a romantic relationship.
So the 2 dykes couldn't date each other?
The chemistry would die. If they 2 both masculine, then they're gonna compete and they're gonna argue too much. If they both feminine, nothing gets done because everybody's gonna talk about their feelings and no one is gonna take any action. So in order for relationship to work and have that spark, you need feminine and masculine energy to complement each other.
Okay, so basically you're saying that there has to be a negative and a positive. They have to be 2 opposites to attract. There's no way for 2 negatives to attract or 2 positives?
They will attract each other, but it won't last. Because if you want to have a spark and romance in a relationship, you need that opposite.
What would you describe as a feminine woman?
So feminine woman is someone patient, who is more passive, not necessarily aggressive. She's not a doormat. She will have boundaries. She will say no. She's respectful. Sometimes she says yes and sometimes she says no. She cherishes her feelings and she's respectful to her masculine energy partner. But she's very loving and kind and free and playful, and she doesn't bitch and nag and preach and moan and try to control someone. She's just very loving and respectful with boundaries.
So would you say that men are more attracted to feminine or masculine women?
Feminine.
Feminine woman, okay. And what are the top 5 traits of a feminine woman, and what's the top 5 traits of a masculine woman?
So a masculine woman wants to be in charge. She wants to control. She wants to tell man what to do. And she doesn't want to be told what to do. And she is always right and wants to plan everything and do everything.
So that's a masculine woman. Mm-hmm. And then what's the top 5 traits for the feminine woman?
So feminine woman doesn't argue. They're more the peacemaker. They're more patient. They're more vulnerable. They don't analyze and speak about their accomplishment. They just share how they feel. They're respectful and they have healthy boundaries.
Okay, so that's a pretty good analysis of masculine and feminine. And you're saying that most men want feminine women. Why is that? Is because men want women to depend on them, and like men want to control women, or like what is that?
I don't think that a masculine man wants to control a woman. He wants to be in charge, but he will always ask his feminine woman how she feels about his decisions and make sure she feels comfortable with it and give her choices. But he doesn't want to be told what to do like a little boy.
Okay, what's a way for a man to be more masculine?
To cherish your woman's feelings or your partner's feelings, whatever relationship you're in, but at the same time not be afraid to stand up and speak up for what you want and check with your partner how they feel about it. Plan, make decisions, be helpful, be giving.
Okay, so I would say the next question is, what do men want in women? What would you say? What is your opinion on what men want in women?
Most men want to be respected They want to be appreciated. They want someone warm and someone who support them in their greatness.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that most men can agree that it's pretty simple, you know, like men, what do we want? Most men value, I would say, sex, and then it's like support and what? Like unconditional love, like something like that, like loyalty, you know, like it's like trust. It's pretty simple, you know. It's like we just want a girl who is more so willing to listen and not like argue or nag about stuff, and then like willing to cooperate and just be nice. That's really it. Like it's not hard to pull a guy. Like I feel like it's not hard. It's like the easiest thing in the world probably.
Yes.
Just be nice to a guy, and if he's attracted to you, then he's attracted to you. And if you do things to make him happy, I feel like that's the easiest route to go, you know, like, and it's really easy in my opinion. But you know, apparently you're saying that for the masculine woman, it's hard for her to get along with a man because she wants to be in control, and she basically she tries to run the relationship. She tries to lead the relationship.
She brings home the masculine energy. She doesn't leave her genitals in the office.
So like for a girl to go to work, would it be better for her to have masculine energy or feminine energy to make more money and, you know, provide for herself or for her family?
Well, we all work from masculine energy because it's more logical and task oriented, and you have to be in charge. So everybody at work is masculine, but the difference is when you finish work, you need to come home to your masculine partner and turn into your feminine energy.
Okay, so basically you're saying that it's okay for women to have masculine traits, but that's only at work.
If they want a relationship to work, because if you're with a masculine man and you're masculine at home, you're gonna kill the chemistry.
What's your definition of a feminine man? Is that a beta male, or like what is that?
Now there are men that are feminine, and there is nothing wrong with a feminine man that dates a masculine woman. But if a man is feminine, he's not necessarily gonna be the provider. He might be the person that's at home, that's loving and caring, but he will not necessarily focus on career as much as a masculine man.
What's the difference between an alpha male and a beta male? Like, what would you say is the difference?
Alpha male is 40% feminine and 60 masculine. Beta man is 10% feminine and 90% masculine. Alpha male can understand women better because they can connect both the emotions and the logic, and they're way more creative because beta men can be extremely successful in one thing, but they're not necessarily multitask. And there's lots of smart beta men. Just because you're beta, it doesn't make you stupid. It's just that beta men are more in their masculine energy, like George W. Bush, let's go to war. But someone like George Clooney is more alpha. He's more charismatic, he's more artsy. So alpha men are way more desirable in general because they're more charming and they understand women's feelings better. However, if a woman is too masculine around alpha man, he's gonna run away too because he still has more masculinity in him. So a lot of alpha men actually sometimes settle for a beta woman because they don't want to be controlled by powerful alpha women.
What's a beta woman?
Beta woman is someone sweet and loving that is extremely feminine, but she will be good only in one thing. She's not necessarily an artist and multitasker. She could do well her job or be a good homestay mom or have just one passion and do it fully. She's like very, very feminine. Alpha women are very attractive and sexy. However, they have so much masculine energy that if they don't learn how to balance it, it can affect their relationship. Someone like a healthy alpha would be Oprah. There is nothing wrong with being an alpha woman. You just have to learn over the years how to balance both, where you're a business person, but you also have that feminine side.
So are alpha women more masculine, or are they more feminine, or like what's the percentage would you say?
So alpha woman is 6% feminine and 40% masculine. And if they run only on masculine energy, it can be very unattractive.
And what's the percentage for beta?
90 to 10. So beta women are way more feminine and they have easy time to get married and they're more simple and easygoing. But alpha women have a harder time because they have so much masculine energy and drive that they don't always know how to balance the feminine with the masculine.
Okay. So what would you say is the biggest miscommunication in relationships these days?
I think it's the polarity again, where you come home and you have the same energy as your partner. And I think men hate four things. They hate to be disrespected, they hate to be criticized, they hate when a woman goes cold on them and when she doesn't appreciate them. And if a woman does all these four things, then they do a U-turn and they leave. And women needs to be understood. They want to be seen, heard, and cherished for their feelings, feminine women.
Yeah, I would agree with the disrespect, because, you know, it's like, the way I put it is that if like a dude is like disrespecting you and making you feel like less of a man, you're gonna fight him. If a girl makes you feel disrespected and less of a man, like, you're not gonna fight her, but I mean, it's like, you can verbally fight her, or you can like leave her, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you handle it a different way because you can't hit a woman. But it's like, if a man was to like make you feel like less of a man, you're gonna fight. As a man, most men are gonna fight. They're gonna box, they're gonna do whatever to claim their masculinity.
Yes, and that's why two masculine energy argue too much. And because man can do the same with the woman, they just do a U-turn and they leave the relationship.
So what do you think about, like, as far as like finances? Like, is it okay for the girl to make more money than her man, or should the man always be the breadwinner? And like, if a girl is a breadwinner, could that work out?
It can absolutely work out. You just have to have clarity what kind of relationship you want. There's 3 styles of relationship. 2 of them are healthy, 1 of them is toxic. There's the codependent relationship where one person is 0 and the other one is 10. And the 10 is getting everything and the 0 is the doormat. And it doesn't matter whether it's a man or woman, but that's the codependent relationship. Then there is convenient, where both people chip in 50-50. Usually it's very young people when they're in college, when they don't have kids. They just share all the bills. They have a bank account together and they pay equally. And then there is covenant relationship, and that's usually the situation when people have kids. One person has to stay home to commit their time to kids, and the other person is more the breadwinner. However, it is big misinterpretation that a lot of women feel entitled and they want the man to pay 100%. Then you need to look for sugar daddy, because that's not really partnership. I feel that covenant relationship, it's more like 70-30 or 80-20, when the person stays home but still contribute and still take care of the house and work a little bit, because relationship is not just take. There has to be a flow of give and take.
Okay, so basically you're saying that the best is like the middle one, where they both do 50-50. Are you saying that the best is like whenever the man is like taking care of the woman and she's like more so staying home?
There is no right or wrong, but usually young couple that don't have kids and couple that are done with kids go 50-50. In the time where there is kids involved, a lot of times it's like 70-30, because someone has to be home and do the job of the kids.
So if the woman makes more money, the guy should stay home and take care of the kids?
It is possible too, and that's a decision of the couple. However, if they do that, she should not be disrespectful, because it's a decision of a couple. So don't come home and start to be disrespectful to your partner. Just because you make more money, it doesn't give you the title to be disrespectful.
I agree with that. But is it like more feminine? Does that make the guy more feminine, the fact that he's staying home?
It could, but if it's handled with respect, it not necessarily, because if the feminine person makes more money and they together make a decision that the man stays home, she should still treat him with respect, because that was their decision.
So in your opinion, would you say that it's right for a woman to depend on a man? Because I think feminine energy is more so dependent on masculine energy, right?
She definitely is more dependent on the masculine energy, but that doesn't mean that she has to use the masculine energy and not contribute whatsoever. There are men that are totally okay with paying lots of the bills, but not necessary guys that are 20 or 30. You know, you have to be in certain age in your career. However, it's always important to contribute, and if it's not money-wise, cook a dinner for your partner, clean the house, join some charity, do groceries, do something so your partner feels like you're giving back. You can't be just taking. That's not feminine energy.
So what do you think about girls like on the first date, or not even the first date, just in general, like never paying for the meal? Like the guy comes, like guy meets a girl, they decide to go on a date, and then like the bill comes. Should the guy go ahead and pay for that, or should the girl like try to pay her half, or should the girl just try to pay for everything, or should the guy just try to pay for everything, or like should the guy say, oh, split the bill? When is it right to split the bill? Like
I suggest personally, if you don't know if you want to date that person, just have a tea or coffee. Why make it so complicated? So you don't.
But does the guy pay for the coffee?
Well, if you invite a girl for a coffee, I think it's fair if you just pay for a coffee. Obviously, if you're a student and you're 17 or 18 or 20 years old, you don't have to. But you know, if you're in your 30s, pay the tea or coffee. Or if you don't want to buy anything, go for a walk, meet at the gym, on the beach, whatever it is. So the woman doesn't feel like you don't care at all. But I wouldn't go to a fancy dinner with someone you've never met if you're not even sure if you want to date them, because then you can find yourself in a situation where the girl could be entitled and you didn't even have a good time and you feel like you're taking advantage of. So I always suggest the first 2-3 dates, make it more casual before you even know that you are interested in each other.
Okay, so after the first 2 dates, y'all are interested in each other. Let's say that we're interested. Yes. So the man be paying for the meal every single time, like every single time after, or should the girl like, you know, like treat her man like take him out
I feel personally that it is nice for a man to take a girl to a romantic dinner, and next time the girl can cook for him at home or something. Okay. So there is a balance. It doesn't have to be always money exchange. It should be the effort that she goes to buy groceries and cook in his house or, you know, in her house. So she contributes, or she orders some food in because he paid time before. So there is some kind of balance of not just taking, but also giving and receiving.
Okay, so I know you specialize in like making women more empowered and, you know, basically teaching women how to be more feminine. My question is basically like what makes a girl more masculine? Like I'm talking about like childhood trauma, like what would make a girl more masculine, like from their earlier stages? Like what's the trigger that is like, okay, this girl's she's most likely gonna be masculine when she gets older or something like that? What makes someone like that?
So if your father is feminine, automatically you're gonna act a different way as a girl and you're gonna be masculine. If your mom is masculine, you may copy your mom because that's all you see. So the way you're raised really plays a big role on how you carry your femininity, because you're just copying your parents and you don't know. If the father is unavailable, the woman can be entitled and give the man a daddy bill because she never had love, and she is masculine and entitled and controlling too. So everything goes back to childhood. And anybody I ever coach, I always go back to the childhood and find out my daddy was, my mom was. And then I know in 1 minute if they're feminine or masculine.
What do you mean the daddy bill? You're saying that the dad's not in the girl's life, and then she takes that out on other men?
She can, or she can be masculine because nobody cherished her and she had to take care of herself. So she has lots of masculine traits because nobody ever asked her how she feels. Nobody gave her love or cherish her. So she doesn't really know how to be feminine. It's not necessarily her fault. And she could be wounded and just become very, very strong woman because no one is around, and that can affect her relationship.
But isn't it good for her to be a strong woman? Because if not, and then...
It's good to be a strong woman when it comes to work, but when you want to control and take charge of a relationship with masculine partner, you're going to ruin it.
Okay, so basically you're saying that it's good for a woman to be masculine while she's like somewhat single, but whenever she decides to commit to a man, she should, give up some of that masculinity and trust the man to be the leader and be more masculine?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean she's not going to express how she feels. And if she doesn't like something, she's not going to stand up for herself. She has to learn how to say no, but she has to also trust for a man to take a lead. If he wants to take her for dinner, she can't control every time where she's going to go eat and what fancy restaurant. The man should be in charge, or she should give him at least two choices so he doesn't feel like a puppet that he has no word to say and he can be in charge of anything.
Okay, so basically you're saying that the man should usually be in charge and the woman should trust and follow his lead?
Yes, but he also should ask her how she feels about it. Like, honey, I want to go on holiday. And she's like, well, I don't want to go there. Okay, honey, if you go with me this time, what can I do for you next time? So he tries to cherish her feelings and make her comfortable, but he should plan. He should take charge and he should make decisions in a relationship.
What's the best way for a woman to respect her man and like respect the boundaries and like, for it to work, like as far as like a respect factor?
Well, I think that in a relationship, we always focus on what am I getting in this relationship and are my needs met. But if you put your attention, what does my man need? What does make him love? If you give your man what he loves and what his needs are, there is no way he's not going to cherish you back if he loves you. So don't always put your needs first. Also put your man needs first. When you see that something is not working, find out what is his love language and show him that he's loved and he will love you back.
So basically you're saying that women need to get inside the mind of their man and see what he values and then like honor that. But how about the man? Like, how does he make his girl happy? Like,
women are very expressive and they tell men way more than man what they like and don't like. So I feel that women will let you know much more easier what makes them happy. And you should speak up to your man and without criticizing, honey, it would really make me happy if you're willing to do this and this for me next time. And if you've done stuff for him that makes him feel loved, of course he's going to do it for you.
Okay, and then my next question is, what do you think about OnlyFans girls? Like this might be a little hot topic. Like, what do you think about OnlyFans girls and like, what's the best way for them to get in a relationship and find a man? And like, is it possible for it to work out?
Well, first of all, they will need to be with a man that respects what they do and be okay with it, because some men may not. So they have to find a man that respects the work they have and they okay.
Do you think that's hard to find?
It could be, because it can make some men insecure when you have a lot of attention, a lot of followers. It takes a secure man to be around that. A lot of men would not be okay with it. So it can be a little bit more challenging. Just like when you're a superstar or when you are OnlyFans, not every man is compatible with that. Some men just want someone more simple that doesn't have all that attention. So it can be harder for a man to accept the situation, but there are men that are okay with it, obviously. But again, even if you're super wealthy and super successful and super famous, you need to humble yourself and come home and be that nice, kind, loving woman that you are, and don't bring that masculine energy at home.
So you're saying that it can work?
Yes.
And for it to work, you're saying that the girl has to be respectful, basically, at all?
Well, if she wants to be with the masculine man, if she wants to be with the feminine man, she's gonna have to pay the bills, and that's okay.
So you said that it's harder because you say men like girls who are more low key and stuff. So you're saying that it's kind of a curse for a girl to get big online and like blow up and like be doing OnlyFans?
It's not curse. She just has to understand that her work is not her personal life. And whatever her work is, she leaves it at work and she comes home as a humble, feminine person. And then it will totally work. Just don't bring the home, the achievements, and try to compete and show off and bring ego. That's not gonna work.
Okay, so basically you're saying that it's okay for them to do all that stuff. They just have to like understand how their man feels about it and make him feel comfortable about everything.
Well, they have to be with the man that is okay with that type of feel that they are in, and obviously they're a man that they're okay. As long as they don't bring that masculine energy home to their masculine man, it's gonna work.
So would you say that the girls that are doing OnlyFans are more masculine or feminine?
They have to be masculine because they have to create from their masculine. Because women create from their masculine energy, men create from their feminine.
Okay.
So that's why in Los Angeles, because it's the city of entertainment, a lot of women are very masculine because they're in the entertainment and they're actresses, and a lot of men are very feminine because they're in the entertainment. Because when you create as a man, you need feelings to create the content. When you create as a feminine woman, you cannot be only in the feelings because you can't like tap the intelligence into it. So women create from their masculine and men create from their feminine when it comes to work.
So you're saying that's a way to be a better creator?
Yes.
So as a man, if I want to be a better creator, I need to be considerate of people's feelings?
No, you have to consider how people are going to feel about your content. Is it going to be okay? So you have to tap a little bit into your feminine energy to create the content, because if you just do it logically, you can't. It's even for police officers or firefighters. They can't just go with their logic. They have to feel the environment. Where is the fire? Where is the danger? So when you create as a masculine man, because men have masculine body but feminine heart, and women have feminine body and masculine heart. That's why it's much harder to break women's heart, because it's much stronger. It can get broken, but feminine heart, why men have more heart attacks than women? Because when you break a man's heart, you really break a man's heart. It's much more gentle, it's harder to get in. But men have a feminine heart, women have a masculine heart. We live longer and we have a stronger heart.
So you're saying that it's good for a guy to have a super masculine frame, but to have feminine qualities makes him very balanced and like attractive.
Yeah, an alpha man has obviously more feminine energy, but if you're an artist, you cannot create just from your head as a man. You need to bring the feelings to it. If you're Picasso, if you're Dali, if you're an actor, you have to bring that feminine energy into your craft. That's why in Los Angeles, there's more feminine men and more masculine women.
Okay.
Because it's the city of entertainment, and that's how you create your art.
So basically, how can a girl turn off her feminine energy when she gets home from work?
She needs to do stuff to desensitize before she gets home. So don't be on all the business calls. Listen to something positive in the car. Meditate. Go get a little manicure, pedicure. Just slow down. So you don't have to talk about work and accomplishment all the time, but just like be more peaceful, calm energy.
Do you think women should date older men, and do you think men should date younger women? Like, because I see this stuff online. It's like there's men who are saying that they'd rather date like 18 and 20-year-olds than girls who are 25. And then I also know that when I was in college and high school, none of the girls my age necessarily wanted to date me. They all wanted to date dudes that were older. So like, why is it okay for women to date older men and want to date older men, but it's not okay for men to want to date younger females? Like,
I think it's okay both ways as long as they're legally at the right age. But young women and older men bond. Old women and young men don't bond. They don't have oxytocin.
Wait, what?
So women, when she has her periods, is on oxytocin. It's a chemical peptide that if you smell someone, you bond. You have that strong chemical bond. Men only have it when they go to andropause. That's why old men can die of broken heart. Because old men and young women bond, they are on oxytocin. Women that are over 50 and young men don't bond, they don't have oxytocin. So the chemistry is never as strong as for young girl and older guy. It's a science.
You're saying that chemistry is stronger for younger women and older men?
Because they are on oxytocin, both of them. They have that really magic chemistry. A lot of older women can date young guys and they don't really care so much anymore because they don't have periods anymore, so they're more masculine. So older women are more masculine, younger women are more feminine. because they have a lot of oxytocin in their feelings all the time.
So it's more attractive for guys to date younger women because of the oxytocin?
It can be, and also it can be because younger women have less trauma and they're less entitled and they're more easygoing. But older women have experienced already a lot of pain and suffering, and sometimes when they don't heal themselves, it could be harder with a man to be with them in a relationship.
There's actually a guy his name is Andrew Tate, and he said something about that he'd rather date like 18-year-olds because they've been through less trauma and stuff, and less baggage and less sex. That's what he said, and a lot of women got offended about it. So like, what do you think about his opinion on that? Do you think he was wrong for saying that?
Nobody is wrong. I see his point, and I also see the point that it's judging that there is no older women that are loving and balanced. Obviously there is balance of both, but I do understand that many women, when they go through pain, bring that pain into the next relationship. Lots of marriages fail 50% the first time, 75% the second time, and 90% the third time. Why? Because they never work on themselves. And the slightest little thing that someone triggers them, they're out. So it's important when you go to break up to take time and heal, so your next partner doesn't have to suffer for what happened to you before.
In your opinion, what's the best way to heal after a breakup?
You need at least 2 months no dating. You need minimum 2 months no dating, not being physical, and really heal your heart and just let the grief out and enjoy being single, and just heal yourself. Because if you jump and rebound in the next relationship, it's not going to be fair to the person right in front of you. Or be honest with them that I'm going through rebound, I'm open to get to know you and be friends. I just don't know if I can love you right away because I'm still going through this thing.
Do you recommend someone get back with their ex?
Why not? If it was nothing unethical, immoral, illegal, and sometimes when a man is not in the right place because he's not yet at his purpose, even though he loves you, he can't give you what you want, because timing in life is everything. My sister was dating her high school sweetheart. They broke up for 6 years and now they're happily married. They weren't ready then.
Okay, so you're saying that anything's possible is what you're saying?
Yes, I mean, look at Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Anything is possible.
Okay, then I'll say this is the last question. What do you think, like, is it easier or is it harder for a girl who's doing OnlyFans to get married?
Of course it's much harder, because...
It's harder?
Yeah, because she is harder to get married to the right man. She can get married to a feminine man that takes advantage of her anytime. But I'm talking to get married to a masculine man that will cherish her, protect her, provide for her, and love her. It's a little harder because she gets a lot of attention, she's already independent, and it takes a secure masculine man to be in that position where he's okay with her career and for her to still come feminine home.
From a general aspect, what would you say are the top 5 values for a woman and a man?
So she wants...
Or top 10 values.
I feel like every woman needs chemistry in relationship, right? If there's no chemistry, it doesn't work. Loving communication. And there's 3 styles of communication. You can be the aggressive or passive aggressive, which is very toxic, or loving. I'm okay, you're okay, how do we dance together? Then they want a man that cherishes their feelings. I'm talking about feminine women. And someone who is emotionally predictable, because if you walk on eggshells every time, it's very hard to be in a relationship. Someone loyal and faithful that is looking for the same thing, and someone that is financially stable enough so they don't feel like they have to contribute 100%, because then they don't feel cherished and they're resentful.
Okay, so basically it's like mainly love and caring about their feelings, and then like
have a job.
It's like financial stability.
Yeah, financial stability. It doesn't mean that when you're 21 you need to be a billionaire. But if your girlfriend has a summer job, get a summer job and take her for coffee or buy her a little ice cream.
When would you say a man is ready for marriage?
He is ready for marriage when he meets the right feminine woman that brings it out of him. There is no man that wants to be married right away, but it takes the right woman to want him to marry. Because men are not naturally necessarily built to be with one woman. their sexual drive is 10 to 20 times higher than women. So they will go for a woman that treats them with respect, that brings the best out of them, that appreciates them, and that is warm. And even though they may not be financially where they need to be, that love and support helps them to build their empire even faster.
Okay, so you're saying that it's okay for a girl to date a man who hasn't made it yet?
Yes.
Or is it better to go with a man that's made it already, or a man that's like in the process of it?
Depends on her age. If you're 20 years old and you want to be with a man that's made it already, you're going to date someone of your dad's age. So if you want to be with someone around a man with your age, you have to be patient. And feminine women are patient. They don't mind to cooperate and help their partner to grow.
Okay, and like, okay, so like a gold digger, like what's your opinion on a gold digger? Like,
gold digger is very masculine and she's looking for sugar daddy, and that's the only partner that it will work with. If she tries it with a masculine man, he may go for it once or twice and feel disrespected and be heartbroken, and he will break up with her.
Okay, this is like the last question. Like these girls are like saying that they want their man and like send them money for their nails and like just be this financial like bank. Like, is that okay? Is that like right?
They have every right to want what they want. They're gonna attract exactly what they're asking for. So it doesn't mean that your man can sometimes pay for your nails or buy you things, but if you want 100%, then you're looking for a sugar daddy if you don't want to contribute in anything.
Okay. Well, I'll say that's about it. Those are the questions I had, and I think you answered most of them. You know, it's basically, it all comes down to respect. Like, I feel like a lot of the masculine and feminine energy, like, can get mixed around and like, you know, like can be more valued and less valued, but it all just comes down to respect.
Yes.
And you're basically saying that women, they value, I mean, it seems like they value a man who's like, who just cares for them.
Who loves them and appreciates them and cherishes them and makes them seen and understood and gives them compliments and attention. That's all women want. And if he shows ambition and he's working towards some goal and he's passionate about something, there's no reason why the woman wouldn't support him. Now, if you're with a man that's floating around and doesn't work for 3-4 years, you're gonna be resentful, because it's not fair if you work and bust yourself every day and your partner just sits at home on a sofa and does nothing with his life. That's not masculine. But if a masculine man is at the first stage of his life where he's studying and building his career, you should totally be supportive of him if you love him.
Okay, so that's it, man. We got a lot of information. I actually learned a lot from this conversation, and you know, I think it was good. And yeah, y'all go ahead, follow us on social media. We can put it on the screen. She has a book. It's about how to be feminine, like how for girls to tap into their feminine energy. So it's like, I recommend y'all checking it out. And you know, it's like, be feminine, right? As far as women goes, like,
and it's not just for relationship, it's also good for your health, because if you run on your masculine energy 24/7, you're just gonna get worn out. You're not built to be 24/7 masculine all the time. So it's to take time for yourself, to cherish your feelings, to do the things for yourself, to love yourself, to be happy. Because feminine women work every day on their happiness. They don't demand the happiness from their partner. Your partner is not your shrink or coach. Your partner is your partner. So work on your happiness every day, do progress. And if you want to take my masterclass, How to Be Feminine, it's coming out soon.
All right, y'all, we're signing out. Thank y'all for tuning in. Go ahead, subscribe. You already know we coming back with some more heat.
Thank you. Love you all.